What's up, guys? It's Kictor. I'm back with my beautiful girlfriend Stitch to talk about The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish, Volume 3.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This is a wild one.
It's all fun and games until the MPreg is actually really sweet and far less weird than anticipated.
We're gonna cover a lot of ground in this volume, okay?
We need to set some baselines, though. We are not, like, usual MPreg enjoyers. Like, we do not usually venture into that. Yeah. Like, of course we see it. I don't have any problems with it, but it's not. I don't seek that in fan fiction usually.
Honestly, pregnancy is a little bit creepy for women, so never mind a man experiencing it.
Don't worry, I also get how it can be hot, though.
Yes, completely understandable. Yeah. I see the vision. I see the vision. Just personally, I close my eyes to the vision.
Now, I don't know how I can go into this about fish MPreg, FMPreg, if you will.
The FPreg.
FPreg. I'm excited for the ride.
And quite a ride it will be. We are going to experience marriage, pregnancy, children, multiple assassination attempts, and perhaps most importantly, mermaid sex. Yes. But let's not get too carried away just yet, because if you remember from last volume, Liu is still keeping his double identity a secret from Prince Jing.
Oh yes, that he is a fish.
Yes, but of course, Prince Jing has already figured that out on his own, but Liu is still burdened with this huge secret that he's keeping from his boyfriend.
Right.
What's gonna happen?
Oh my god. I'll be taking that. Turnips.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, but one of the benefits that Liu got from the system was a buff called Well-Fed and Well-Clothed. So while on his epic road trip to the northern border with Prince Jing, where Prince Jing has been charged with the impossible task of solving the bandit problem there, Liu discovers a hidden talent: foraging for wild vegetables. He's just so good at it.
Really?
He can just go out into the wilderness and just find shit to eat. Instinctively.
That is a great skill to have.
It's wonderful. I wish that would happen to me. And he's also good at fishing.
That's a little sick and twisted.
He doesn't fish for fish, though. He finds crabs and shellfish.
That's like fish adjacent. That's still your fish
He draws
brethren.
the line at eating fish. He does. He's not eating fish out there, okay? But crabs are on the menu.
It's a little bit of a little mushroom cannibalism moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Fish eating a crab?
I don't know. Do you really think a fish and a crab could speak to each other? Do you really think they could look into each other's eyes and understand each other?
Have you not seen Ariel?
Shit, you're right. You're right. Forgot about the Little Mermaid. But more importantly,
I'm sorry this manor is so small, spoken through his loving gaze. I'd literally be happy in a fish tank if I were a fish.
So it takes 2 months of travel to arrive at Lufong village, Prince Jing's new home, as dictated by the emperor.
Because he got sent off, right?
He did.
To go work.
Yeah. Because it's a small village, their new home is smaller than the average house. Nothing like Prince Jing's manor with the custom pond and giant fish tank. But Liu is really easygoing and doesn't pay any mind to their change in circumstances. In fact, with less servants around, Liu clumsily attempts to help Prince Jing get ready for bed in the evenings, including taking a bath, things like that.
Oh,
but
a little saucy?
Yeah, he's trying to be a little bit saucy with it. But Prince Jing is the one who ends up taking care of him and doting on him. So how the turns table.
Very cute.
You can't out-dote Prince Jing. It's impossible. Don't even try. Now, after half a year of dating, with Liu constantly trying to seduce his boyfriend, and Prince Jing steadfastly abiding by the rules he originally set, which was no doing it, Liu is reevaluating his boundaries. After all, he was only concerned with transforming into a fish in the middle of things, so as long as he has a plan for that, he's fine.
He's like so horny now, he's like willing to risk it.
He's got a plan.
Okay.
We're gonna go over the plan now.
Liu's 3-step plan for getting laid.
Number 1, transform on the night of the first day. Okay. When it's close to midnight and his human time is almost up, about 2 hours, find an excuse to go into the other room and turn into a fish. Wait just a moment for midnight to pass, thus becoming the next day, then transform back into human to continue sexy activities.
He is min-maxing this.
Yes!
Okay. It's a little Cinderella story.
Yes, exactly. But because the system functions on this kind of midnight is the next day sort of thing, he has a workaround. He could pretty much cram his 2 hours per day as close together as possible. But I'm like, 4 hours? Damn, you're really blocking out a lot of time there. What are you going to be doing?
Oh my gosh.
I guess better to be prepared. Better not to worry about turning into a fish. But yes, that's his plan, and he is going for it, and he puts it in place. He does it.
Oh,
he does it.
I'm here to cock block. I mean, kill you. Oh my god. Okay.
As Liu initiates intimacy, they are interrupted by the clash between assassins and guards.
But this is so awful because he already like wasted his fish minutes and stuff.
I know. He's human, and then like kind of blew his chance because now there's assassins. Knowing he's the target, Prince Jing leaves Liu to join the fray in order to keep the assassins away from him. But Liu watches the fight from afar and sees a hidden archer taking aim at Prince Jing, so he rushes to protect him using a copper basin as a shield.
Oh my god, cool.
I kind of love how he's not necessarily the most clever or the most brave, but he is very devoted and very much in love, and he's willing to protect Prince Jing as well. It's very good. The outnumbered assassins retreat, and Liu is overcome by a rush of emotion. His love for Prince Jing and his fear of losing him is far greater than his fear of death or aversion to bloodshed. And with that, the Through Thick and Thin mission is completed.
Oh.
But Liu has no time to rejoice because he is out of time. He turns into a fish right in front of Prince Jing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And the jig is up.
Cat's out of the bag. Fish is in the tank.
Liu panics. Now that his secret has been revealed, he's convinced that Prince Jing will think he's a monster and kill him. But Prince Jing is equally at a loss as he's been working just as hard to keep Liu's pretense of a secret. He puts poor Liu into his crystal bottle and pats his head gently and shows him a note that says, "Don't be afraid."
Aww.
Just that is enough for Liu to regain his confidence. It is now after midnight, so he's able to transform again and give Prince Jing an explanation, which he did not think of beforehand.
Right.
So it's a little bit half-assed. But since Prince Jing already assumes that he's a Yao spirit and is okay with that, that's what Liu goes with. After all, what's the difference between a fish cultivating into a human and a human transmigrating into a fish?
Having a whole life in another world is the difference.
He's like, nah, I'm basically doing the same thing. It's fine.
Oh my god. Okay, well. That's so funny.
Yep, just rolling with it.
Wow. He's literally from another universe. He had a family.
Yeah, but then he'd have to go into like, Prince Jing, you're actually the protagonist of a novel I read, and you actually end up being kind of a dick.
Oh my gosh.
And you married that twink, not me. I don't even exist. And
Right.
It would be weird, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it would be awful to tell someone that
they're not even real, technically. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's real, but yeah.
Okay.
After explaining himself, Prince Jing is not only unfazed, but accepts him with open arms. Liu is so happy and relieved and exhausted, so he helps himself to a nap in Prince Jing's arms.
Aw.
Prince Jing lovingly kisses his forehead, wraps him in blankets, and waits for him to transform back into a fish to put him to bed all over again.
It's funny because Prince Jing truly loved his pet fish, too. So for him, this is best of both worlds.
It's true, he's always thought that. The assassin attack is reported to the Emperor afterwards, and Liu also uses his revealed identity as a carp spirit to warn Prince Jing about the sixth prince. He's like, I have like clairvoyant powers sometimes. They're not really always correct, but you know, it's just a loose guideline because the sixth prince is his original arch nemesis in the novel.
Right.
So he's like, be extra careful of him. He claims to have some power of foresight called the Golden Finger, which is a nod to that sort of literary trope where the protagonist just has convenient knowledge of shit, right. I guess. But Prince Jing is more interested in how long Liu will stay with him after this tribulation era of his cultivation. Liu doesn't actually know what the system has planned for him and says as much, which really upsets Prince Jing. So basically he's like, I'm here with you as a Yao because I'm going through my tribulation era as I'm cultivating, but I don't know what's going to happen after that. So
right. That is upsetting.
It is upsetting.
It's like, here I thought you were my boyfriend, and he's like, I'm just on a quest.
Yeah, he's really upset not knowing if Liu will stay with him forever. And obviously Liu wants to stay with him forever. He just doesn't know what's going to happen.
I'm at the whimsy of other shit.
System. Okay? You could not comprehend.
Prince Jing's secrets. Hey guys, welcome to another unboxing.
Welcome to today's unboxing with another one of Prince Jing's secrets. Liu's reward for completing the most recent mission. is to view another one of Prince Jing's secrets. So he learns that as a baby, Prince Jing's wet nurse was murdered by a servant in front of him.
Oh.
The system also gives him his next mission: burn with passion with the Tyrant. Liu needs no encouragement because he can think about nothing else.
Oh my gosh.
But his wonderful, loving boyfriend is busy with something more important: the bandit problem at the border. So,
It's like, we gotta bang. And he's like, I got some bandits. He's like, no, you don't understand. Divine intervention. We need to bang.
So Liu's like, in order to get laid, I gotta help with this. He's got a plan.
Liu's 3-step plan for getting laid. Guerrilla warfare edition.
So he makes some suggestions to help Prince Jing. He says, hey, I love this about Liu. He understands that the world he lives in, there's a lot more callous bloodshed than he's used to in modern times. But he's still very much concerned with helping people, and especially innocent civilians, where he can, even though he's not trying to, stop anyone from ever getting killed ever again. He's a very reasonable protagonist in that regard.
Okay.
So he makes some suggestions. He's like, hey, these villagers already have kind of underground root cellars, shelters, because they're used to natural disasters and bandits and stuff. So how about we use those to hide away the villagers, to protect them while the fighting goes on, and keep them out of the way. Then we can lure the bandits into the village, since the villagers will be protected, and use the underground tunnels that already exist in this village to hide soldiers and ambush the bandits on very familiar turf and catch them off guard and take them out that way.
Okay.
And so Prince Jing goes for that plan. But to kind of back up a little bit, the bandit problem is so bad that they've even infiltrated the local gentry, and they were responsible for sending the assassins in the first place.
Okay.
Prince Jing has never engaged in warfare before, but the emperor has given him free rein to solve the problems however he sees fit, so he is diligently strategizing how to fight the bandits with his minimal manpower. When Liu sees this, he realizes, quote, his boyfriend was preoccupied with sticking it to the bandits instead of sticking it in him. This is what was called putting the interests of the whole before the individual. Isn't that so funny?
That is so funny. The interest of the whole before the interest of my whole.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Oh my god.
Sticking it to the bandits instead of sticking it in him. He is so unserious.
That's hilarious.
I love that. So, naturally, he's inspired to help his boyfriend get rid of the bandits as soon as possible. So, with his plan, Prince Jing's fight is a success, and he wins the heart of the people as well. Prince Jing even helped an elderly woman and her grandson get to safety during the battle, which surprised Liu, because Prince Jing may be sweet to him, but he is a bit disinterested in the well-being of others. Hence his future career as a tyrant. But Prince Jing knows that Liu is the one concerned with civilian welfare, so Prince Jing did it for him.
Aww.
I think that's so
He's
lovely.
Like, don't worry, I didn't care about them. But I know you do. What more can you ask of a tyrant?
Honestly.
Oh.
And I love that Liu saw that. It wasn't like, oh my god, his heart's changing. It's like literally like, oh my god, he loves me so much that he would think about what I would want in that situation and do something for me based on that. Well, I'm not even there.
That's how I envision my life would be if I got with evil Emperor Zurg.
There's a lot to unpack there, and I don't think we have time for that, but let's circle back to that later.
If I ever go missing, I'd probably transmigrated into his universe.
I would love that.
Toy
for
Story
you.
2 specifically.
Okay. I would not begrudge you that. I'd be like, she's living her best life. I can't be Zurg. I could be many things for you, but probably not Zurg. Get me a suit, a robot suit. I'll try.
If anyone could be Zurg, it would be you.
Aww. Okay, now moving on though. This is serious.
Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together.
Okay.
Yes.
Very important.
Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together after
Today.
this battle.
Okay.
So right after the battle, Prince Jing changes into red robes, and Liu does the same. And in private, they share a special cup of wine and finally go to bed together.
Oh my
married.
God.
Like, they get married first.
Oh my god.
No sex before marriage. They, do a little private ceremony, and then they get on with it. It's,
Damn.
very romantic time. Round 1, then a quick break to turn into a fish. No secrecy needed.
Wait. Round 1.
Yes.
How was that?
The tone is very romantic and sweet. There's not, like, but we're not dealing with meat bun here. There's not a lot of detail. We just know it happens and that it's beautiful.
Okay. That's nice.
Right, and it's kind of focuses on like kind of the before moments and the after moments, right?
Yeah.
So like there's a really sweet moment afterwards where Liu doesn't want to leave Prince Jing in bed even after his time runs out. So he flops into Prince Jing's palms as a fish and uses the water from his inventory to create a little pond in his hand so that he can cuddle him as a fish, not wanting to be separated. I'm like, I get that. Relatable king.
Oh my god.
And then when he's able to transform again, they go for round 2.
So the refractory period is fine while he's just a little fish. They wait it out.
Yeah.
Prince Jing.
Yeah. It's so cute. They just have a little cuddle break.
Oh my god.
It just perfectly shows just how all-encompassing their love is. It's very sweet.
If that's the rule, that's probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Round 2?
Yeah. There's no smutty details per se. You do get like a good sense like they enjoy this and they will do it often.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, this is their first time and it's very romantic and they get married first. So very nice. Speaking of round 2, we will have like round 2 of marriage as well, okay? Because like we have still a long ways to go before it's like official, right?
Okay.
Because this is about them being together, their souls connected. But it's also Prince Jing bending the world and turning it upside down so that their marriage can be publicly acknowledged and celebrated.
Okay.
Yes.
Flashback to last night. I agreed to the terms and conditions. Ah, shit, got me there.
Okay. So that now they've consummated the marriage, and you may have gotten a sense, if you remember, one of the system's little rewards or buffs was like a one shot and done.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're like, okay,
He's pregnant.
You have an inkling of suspicion that pregnancy
was.
could be happening.
We guessed that too, weren't we? It's
yeah.
It just takes one.
Done. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But also, it's kind of a horrifying concept, right? That this could happen. He's not even aware that could happen. But it's done. Wait, no, go ahead.
Does he know that like MPreg is a thing? So is he like horrified? Like, I'm a man.
Yeah. So this is a little bit horrifying, but for all that, it's done very well where the situation unfolds, and it's not like the system is like fucking evil and like removed any consent in the process. So we're gonna see how this actually happened. Okay. Liu wakes up as a fish, feeling a little worse for wear, and finally checks his system notifications, which had been blaring in his head during the sexy times the night before, and he just ignored them all.
Oh my god.
He had clicked through the notifications as fast as possible to focus on their lovemaking, but now he's having a moment of regret about that, because not only did he check off his consent to get pregnant, he also chose the default fish option for giving birth.
So, well, thank God.
Yes.
I think.
Yes. So there was a world where if he had been paying attention, he could have made a choice, but I don't think he would have chosen differently.
Okay.
Because giving birth as a fish, as we're going to find out, is a lot easier. But that's how this happened. So like he was given an opportunity.
The system was saying, "You need anything? Snacks? Condom?"
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. So technically, the system did give him an opportunity to give consent. The system did try to give him consent. He was the one who was a little bit, not diligent.
Tale as old as time.
A tale as old as time. Yes.
Wow. And now you're pregnant.
And now you know what? There's a lesson here for somebody. I don't know. Not me, not you, but for somebody.
How do they feel about this?
Okay.
What about Prince Jing's consent?
Prince Jing, you know what? Fair, because Prince Jing didn't know.
He just thought he was doing a guy.
I know. Isn't it crazy? Okay.
Oh.
So he's growing those fish babies inside of him. Naturally, the idea of giving birth is very off-putting for him, and he's not too happy about that. The only upside is that his future reward for finishing the quest is that his transformation time will double, and he'll also be able to cancel his transformation if needed.
Your transformational time will be double because you'll need more time to take care of your children.
We'll get into the logistics of that as well. So even though Liu is pissed off at the system, Liu doesn't hold the slightest grudge against the potential babies growing inside of him.
Well, that's nice.
Yes. He was never going to do anything but carry out this pregnancy. Liu is afraid of how his human form will be affected, so he doesn't transform for a few days, but ultimately can't stand it anymore. Prince Jing has been quietly looking after him this whole time, not questioning his strange fishy mood or his absence. But when his boyfriend finally returns to human form, they can't help but reunite with the same amount of affection as when they parted, doing it again. As soon as Liu has post-nut clarity again, he's like, damn it, if I wasn't pregnant before, I'm definitely pregnant now.
Stop! Oh my god, don't say that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, it kind of just goes to show that, like, obviously, if he was a little bit more upset, that wouldn't have even happened. But he basically went and...
He's clearly not that upset about by it.
Yeah. Given the opportunity, he would probably willingly get pregnant because he can't help himself. But why is the system so intent on getting Liu pregnant? Liu demands to know, and surprisingly, it's not for its own sick jollies. You see, as the future emperor and the protagonist of the original novel, Prince Jing is required by the narrative to have children, heirs to the throne. But because of his devotion to Liu, the only way he can possibly have children now is through him. Thus, our current situation. So again, the Moe pet system is still trying to revise the plot of the novel, and because their love has grown so strong that now there is no conceivable way that Prince Jing would have a child through a woman. Mm-hmm. We gotta fix this, because he does need heirs to the throne.
Right.
Liu is moved by how much Prince Jing has consciously given up for him without even making a big deal of it, including like this idea of never having kids being with him. But he's still afraid to give birth. Then he unlocks another one of Prince Jing's secrets. This time, it's the fact that Prince Jing knew he was his pet fish for quite some time now.
Ooh, okay.
Because again, when his identity was revealed to Prince Jing didn't give away that he did know the entire time. So now Liu knows that he knew. So now, finally recognizing the full scope of how Prince Jing has taken care of him and loved him no matter what, he finally accepts his fate. And Liu, he rolls with the punches quite well. Like, once he accepts something, he's all on board.
He's like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Go to your mother. And the system does let him know that it doesn't hurt to give birth as a fish. So
that's fine then.
That's his reaction. That was his main concern, his only concern at that point. So he's like, oh, if it doesn't hurt, then I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and thankfully, fish pregnancy only lasts 4 weeks. This sounds awesome.
That's fantastic.
I'd give birth as a fish. It's a sweet deal.
Wow.
And Liu even lays his eggs in his sleep completely painlessly.
Fantastic.
There's just one small problem. He still hasn't told Prince Jing about the babies.
Oh my god!
He's been avoiding them this whole time, staying in fish form under the pretense of cultivating. I know. It's a lot to tell your now husband.
Oh my god.
Right?
He has to tell him.
He's gonna tell him. Or, more accurately, he's going to get caught.
Now, does he think that he's just having fish babies? Because, you know, as much as I would see them as my own babies, you could also be like, well, we're having these other fish pets that we gotta take care of. They are our babies. But it's kind of like having pet fish.
Yeah, he isn't quite sure at this point.
Okay.
He will figure that out shortly, but kind of right now he's more focused on just getting these babies out of him.
Okay.
Yes, but he definitely has a lot of questions, and, you know, maybe not knowing is also part of, like, why he's keeping this to himself for now.
Already starting their college funds. I can explain. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's down. Of course he's down.
So the eggs, after they come out of him, have to be incubated for 4 days. Then they will be baby fish. So the system explains it to him pretty quickly. So they will be baby fish. After 9 months of feeding the baby fish, they can complete their own simple quest to become human.
Oh my god.
So the system is producing more.
They went from 0 to having 4 kids?
Yes.
4 human kids?
Yes. 4 babies. He's just popping out 4 babies.
Oh my god.
Liu plans to wait until the eggs hatch to tell Prince Jing, but he's caught incubating the eggs and has to transform into human to finally come clean about it. Even the notably unfazed Prince Jing is shocked, his whole world turning upside down for a hot second. But he immediately embraces fatherhood and even takes over incubating the eggs in his own palm so Liu can get some rest. Literally, as soon as he finds out, like, what has to be done to take care of the eggs, he's like, no, you go lay down, honey. I've got this. And he's like, eggs and a little cup of water in his palms. He's just holding them, keeping them warm.
Sheila!
Like, he's serious. And Liyu's like, no, I can take care of it. It's fine. He's like, no.
I'm a father now.
He is, like, all on board with parenting.
The circumstances of this are very weird, but this is so wholesome.
It is. It's so wholesome. It's so sweet. There's like, I truly thought I would be questioning things a lot more at this point, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's sweet. It's cute. Liu feels so much better seeing how happy Prince Jing is. It's very cute. After 4 days, all 4 babies hatch. We will learn about the individual babies shortly.
Okay.
But all 4 babies hatch, and Liu loves them so much. They can't communicate per se, but as fish, they vibe together, and the system now gives Liu team mode, which is like kind of like they're a synchronized unit of fish guys. It's very cool. Prince Jing could also not be more serious about raising these children. He's the only one who can tell them apart, like, from birth. Like, Liu is like, they all look the fucking same to me. And he's like, no, they're different. Oh. He's the one who's like, it's like, no, this one's the oldest, this one's the second oldest, this one's the third oldest, and so forth. And Liu's like, I'll take your word for it. I only gave birth to him. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
He has lists, he has diagrams, he has a plan. He's preparing for their education as royal children. And he officially asked Liu to marry him by giving him a red paper marriage contract. Before this point, he had not given Liu official status because he was trying to protect him and keep him out of the spotlight. But now with the children to think of, he needs to give Liu and the babies their proper social status.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like, he can't just be like a concubine and the concubine's kids or these random kids with no heritage. Like,
yeah,
this has to be his fucking consort and his babies.
Yep.
Although they both sign the certificate, the marriage can't be considered official until the emperor agrees to it as well. This might seem impossible, but Prince Jing has a plan for that too.
Okay.
Yes. So,
which one is stronger? The emperor's divine authority, a complete lack of precedent for gay marriage, and the social importance of progeny in a patriarchal society versus a duck army.
Duck army! This was my favorite part of the book. Duck army.
What?
Duck army. You may be wondering how this ends up with them getting married. But I need you to know that thousands of ducks are required for them to get married. So let's get into it.
I thought that was a joke. Like, would you rather fight like 10 duck-sized horses or... No, there's actually a duck army. Oh, I remember there was a page of all the ducks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Duck army. Okay. I kind of forgot, personally, that Liu doesn't exist as a person to the emperor. The emperor only knows that he has a pet fish.
Right.
Right? And no love interest. So the first thing Prince Jing does is send a letter to the emperor telling him the results of the battle with the bandits and how a knowledgeable youth named Liu contributed to its victory, asking the emperor to allow him to be rewarded. She's like, this guy deserves a reward for helping me.
Right.
The emperor agrees, but Prince Jing draws out the correspondence over this small matter, seeming to hem and haw about what the award should be, until the emperor finally throws up his hands and says something like, whatever you want to do, just do it. I don't care.
Fine,
Issues
a
very broad blank statement.
Wow.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
You're just thinking just like Prince Jing. Then Prince Jing writes a letter to tell him that he's decided to reward Liu with a marriage and the title of consort. Although this tracks on paper, there is no way the emperor can actually accept this marriage, not because it's a homosexual relationship, which is more or less allowable for nobility in this dynasty, but because the rank of wife must be reserved for someone who can further the royal line. So, like...
He can't have babies.
Right. So, technically, you could have male concubines if you're a member of the nobility, but you can't have a male wife because of
the technicality.
Yeah, the technicality of, like, that's reserved for the person who can produce you legitimate heirs.
Yeah.
Although the emperor is trapped by his own word, he can still impede the marriage by not giving an official response, indefinitely delaying the wedding. But then another message from Prince Jing arrives with another helpful suggestion from Liu, this time addressing a locust problem at the border, using his personal knowledge from modern times.
Oh.
Deep plowing, choosing crops, and a duck army. And he explains it thus. Locust eggs are usually laid in the dirt. When plowing, if we dig a little deeper, the eggs will be exposed to the sunlight and they'll be scorched by the sun. For the next step, locusts don't eat everything. So if we plant only crops that locusts don't eat, they will have much less food. Then they won't be able to cause as much havoc. Then, what's the duck army? Everything has a weakness. Ducks eat locusts! The first two methods are too late to use for the areas that have already been infested, but you can gather some ducks to take care of those regions. This is what's called a duck army.
Oh my god.
And Liyu's modern knowledge isn't so strange because the image I've used is actually a real image of a real duck army used to fight locusts in China.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a real strategy that's used today, and
Rally
it is
up the duck army.
incredibly useful. And so,
Just a bunch of ducks going ham on the loci.
Yeah. So Prince Jing, there's still quite a lot of logistics involved. Prince Jing buys up all of the ducks in the region and even buys duck eggs for the next generation of the army, and he puts that duck army to work and it does its job. So after that, the emperor acknowledges Liyu's worthy character, but only grants him concubine status and explicitly he says, due to him not being able to bear children. This is still well within Prince Jing's plan because the emperor has now stated that his only qualm is the lack of children. Prince Jing's next step is to simply announce that Liu is pregnant.
Oh, honey.
As crazy and chaotic as it sounds, the babies will be irrefutable proof after they've transformed from fish. This ruse involves Liu pretending to be pregnant as human, complete with a pillow under his robes.
Stop!
They even manage a ruse to fool a couple of physicians to verify their wild claim, because it's quite common for like doctors to not be able to directly touch like patients of royal status, especially like woman-coded characters.
Okay.
So physicians examine Liu through a veiled screen, like feeling his pulse and whatnot, and they substitute an actual pregnant woman for that examination. So they have a couple physicians who are saying to the emperor, yeah, we examined Prince Jing's, what
Liu.
Does
the emperor think? Does the emperor think he's trans? The emperor said, I love my mute son and his trans husband.
So the emperor receives this news, and it's a little bit wild, right? He's not really quite sure what to believe, although there seems to be some evidence, and obviously even his own son is saying so. But what he does is he consults the monk Liao Kong, who simply states, the world is vast and full of wonders. So why not, MPreg? So the emperor's like, shit, I guess you're right. The world is vast and full of wonders. Anything's possible. So the emperor sends his own physician to the border to check.
Oh my god. That's so funny. That is such a funny, like, get rid of a plot hole type of thing. Just have a magical monk come in and convince someone the world is vast.
Yeah. The world is fucking vast, man. I don't know. He's pregnant. What do you want me to tell you?
Oh my god.
So he is sending his own physician to check. And so this is kind of part of the plan, is that they're going to pull this off with the right timing to fool the emperor's physician. And with the emperor's physician fooled, they will have all the evidence they need.
I want the emperor's physician to walk in on him giving birth, like pretending, like squeezing his hand, like ah! The babies like crawl out from underneath.
We'll get to that.
What the
But
hell?
yeah,
Meet the babies. Dabao, literally baby one, longer tail, solid gold, and wants to be a big human like his dad's.
yeah.
Oh.
He is the most responsible one. He is Queen Never Cry baby. Truly. He just wants to grow up as soon as possible so that he can be big and strong and help his dads and his little brothers.
Arbao, literally baby two.
This is Liu's fault.
Round tummy, gold with silver flecks, and he wants to eat yummy human food. Okay.
Personality is round.
Sanbao, baby three, colorful scales, shimmering silver, and wants to wear pretty human clothes. Oh, so he's the gay one.
Yeah. Gay baby.
And Cibao, traits confused.
He is...
Stop! Coloring grayish black, wants nothing. He just loves his dad's. Just truly like...
He is, the runs of the litter, he's a little bit slower than his brothers.
Oh my gosh.
He's, not quite with it all the time, but he's so cute and he's just so full of love. And he's the only one who doesn't really look like a koi. He looks more like when Liu was first a fish and was just
Right.
like a regular little cooking carp. And you know what? You know what, though?
Is he the favorite?
He's Prince Jing's favorite
Of
because he
course.
resembles Liu the most, which is a little offensive to Liu, but yes. It's so cute. Okay, so they fed their little fish babies for 9 months. And so one of the babies, Dabao, the strongest, smartest baby there is, has finally transformed. Just poof, all of a sudden. And Prince Jing and Liu have an emotional moment as new fathers holding Dabao for the first time. And it's like, oh my god, it's real. We're really fathers now. Like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
As Dabao and the others are developmentally further along as fish, able to swim and even speak in small words, it's a little bit shocking for them to be human because as human, Dabao is only a crying baby. Which scares the other fish babies into not wanting to transform as well. They're like, fuck, I don't want to be a crying baby.
Yeah, I'm like a genius fish.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a dumb baby.
I can talk, I can move, I can eat snacks. This baby thing sucks. I'm not gonna do that. So Lee, it's such a funny scene because they've like essentially unionized against Liu, and he has to like break up the alliance and like convince them individually to turn human. Because with the first baby, they're like, oh shit, it's like I've gone into labor and like we need to hurry up and get these other babies transformed, otherwise it's gonna look really weird.
Right.
So he individually convinces them that being human is fun using their foremost desires. You know,
like, look at the pretty dress.
Yes, don't you want to wear pretty clothes like me and your dad?
Yeah.
Don't you want to eat yummy human food? Not the and he's like, I'm sorry, you can't eat human food for so long after this, but he straight up lies. And then with the youngest one, he's just like, do you want to be human? He's like, nope. He's like, what do you want then? I just want to be with Dad. Well, could you help me out by turning human? Then he's like, okay. Waits, nothing happens. Do you know how? Nope. It's like, is there a voice in your head called the system? He's like, oh yeah, I've been ignoring it. It's like, oh, okay, well, stop ignoring it, please. But you need to listen to that. He's like, okay, poof.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I love him too.
He's so cute. So, now you may be wondering, can they transform back into fish? Because how chaotic would that be? Not until they're 7.
Oh, good.
They do not have agency until
Wow.
they're 7. And then it's their choice, depending on if they remember fishhood as a baby and want to complete a system quest for it. Otherwise, they'll just be regular humans.
Wow.
So it's possible that not all of them will end up keeping that ability. It just kind of
Right.
depends. But yeah. So they don't have to worry about that for a while.
That's so cool.
So at this point, the emperor's physician has arrived in time for this birth, which occurs, out of sight in the other room.
They're like, yeah, we have fucking quadruplets.
Quintuplets? Yeah. So he gets the news, and the emperor is shocked, but ultimately delighted that his physician reports that his son has produced 4 healthy baby boys, and quickly grants Liu the title of consort and their children official titles as well.
Wow.
So there is something that really seals in the believability of this, and is that they do have like ancient historical / magical adjacent like paternity testing. Okay. They're able to like use like just like a drop of the baby's blood and confirm that
The same DNA or whatever.
it's the same DNA. It's like they're related by blood. So
Wow.
like it's like the obvious thing would be like, oh, couldn't they just substitute like adopted babies? It's like there is proof that it is literally Prince
flesh
Jing's
and blood.
child. So they have no choice but to accept that Liu is the mother.
Wow.
Also, I will say though, it's funny to call him the mother, but the book is really good by like it refers to them both as dads. It doesn't like immediately like feminize Liu just because he
Right.
gave birth. Like it truly is like just he's a guy who gave birth. It's kind of normal, I guess.
Nice.
So the news of this throws the 6th prince into despair, because with healthy heirs lined up, Prince Jing's muteness is no longer an obstacle to the throne at all, especially with his mounting achievements at the border.
He's good at making kids and killing bandits.
That's all you need to be emperor.
Breastfeeding? What the hell?
Prince Jing originally has it in his head that Liu has the power to feed their babies, but to his great disappointment, Liu is not lactating.
He wanted him to lactate.
He really did.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, so we're not going to read into that too much. And worse yet, the babies are unwilling to be fed by a wet nurse. They're too attached to their daddies. So our new fathers have to feed them milk via spoon. Afterwards, Prince Jing goes to town on Liyu's nipples himself during their next sexy time, which gives me mixed feelings. But you know what? Sometimes true love means developing truly weird kinks, and that's okay.
Oh my god.
This is the one-time occasion, but since he's been thinking about it a lot, he kind of just, his pent-up aggression comes out on the nipples.
Oh my god.
He's a little possessive, I don't know.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
I know. But it's... Speaking of true love, it's time for their wedding day, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Prince Jing's love.
His wedding day with raw nipples.
Yeah, Liu was hurting the next day for sure. Prince Jing's love is so all-encompassing that even the details of their wedding robes were arranged to specially celebrate their love, embroidered with fishes instead of the traditional phoenix design required of princes. Something really cute as well, if you remember the stone figures of the prince and the fish from the underwater city that Prince Jing once designed for him. Mm-hmm. Well, Prince Jing took those figures to the border and brought them out when he proposed to Liu officially.
Aww.
And now, on their wedding day, each of them are also wearing the little figurines of the other in their robes.
That's cute.
The wedding goes off swimmingly, and the two are just full of domestic bliss in every scene together. Also, they kind of speed run the wedding because he only has so much time as a human,
right.
But they made it work. It was good. It was fun. Yeah.
Ponyo! Wait a second. This is just Ponyo, but gay. Would you still love me if I were...
whatever this is? Time for another quest.
Uh-oh.
Liu has unlocked 2 more of Prince Jing's secrets from incubating and raising his children, but he's not interested in viewing them just yet, so instead he takes on his most perilous task yet. In order to unlock the ability to transform into a human without a time limit, he has to spend 3 days in merman or man-mer form.
Man-mer?
And if he's discovered at all, he fails the quest.
Man-mer.
Can you imagine what that looks like?
I can, vividly.
This quest specifically requires Prince Jing to protect him, so Liu requests his help enduring the tribulation. Ever since they got married, in the initial sense of consummating their love, the missions have involved Prince Jing's active participation as much as Liyu's. They are now a unit that can't be separated, which involves a lot more trust and vulnerability on Liyu's part. Prince Jing takes his explanation and request very seriously and asks for a few days to prepare, but reassures him that no matter what he looks like, you are you.
Okay.
Prince...
even if you are man-mer.
Yes, so, you know... Liu gives him a heads up, like, I might look a little weird during this process, but just try to ignore that. He's like, don't worry about it, baby girl. Prince Jing prepares a private residence for this to take place in, and takes care of the babysitting details and everything else, so that Liu has nothing to worry about, preparing for this 3-day tribulation.
Okay.
Thus, Liu starts his quest, but gets no choice as to what form he takes, ending up as a fish with legs, the absolute worst case scenario.
No!
He didn't want Prince Jing to see him as a shocking monstrosity, unable to even speak, even though he knows that Prince Jing would take it in stride.
Oh my god.
Sure enough, Prince Jing's only concern is that Liu is avoiding him out of embarrassment, and is quick to show him that he doesn't need to hide.
I love you, man-mer.
He even loves his man-mer form. The two of them end up playing around in, like, the little pond in the residence, like, splashing around.
That's horrifying.
I know, it is horrifying.
I don't like this.
It's like, you think, like, okay, he's just gonna ignore him, leave him alone, let him wait it out. It's like, but no, they're interacting together and, like, running around and playing in the water.
Out?
I don't think so.
Fish mouth.
I don't think his dick is out.
Dick out. If it's legs, it's out.
I don't think his dick is out.
I'd put money.
I feel like he would be a little bit more embarrassed if his dick was out. I think he just has legs.
Comment below if you think his dick is out.
Granted, listen, I'm with you on this. But I need to stress that it's a beautiful, if not odd, moment. They even end up snuggling together.
Oh god, it's so vivid in my mind.
Despite their inability to communicate with words, like, even in this weird fucked up man-mer state,
it's beautiful. I wouldn't want it any other way.
It's
but,
like,
oh
imagine if, like, your pet fish had legs, and you could
don't
do
worry.
even more things.
I have no problem imagining it. They don't fuck in this form.
They don't. It's
okay.
completely like fish form platonic.
Okay.
Just like, because, like, they're very playful when he was a fish, right? They had that element of just being able to have fun together. And so this is just kind of a moment where Liu is just like able to regain his confidence and joke around, play, and they're on like a little honeymoon, a little vacation.
Okay, enough of the man.
Okay. The first day of the quest passes, and the next day Liu is relieved to wake up a merman. Not only is he relieved, but he finds his merman appearance to be stunningly beautiful, and coyly shows it off to his husband, brushing him with his tail and wrapping around him seductively. Like, Liu wakes up a merman, he's like, I'm the hottest I've ever been, and I'm ready to fuck.
Oh my god!
He's like, this is great, and I fucking...
Cloaca, wet.
He's like, I love how he's like fully confident, like, I fucking know Prince Jing will be into this.
Stop.
I'm like, that's... calling your husband out. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is going in a direction. Next slide.
Oh dear. Did they or did they not discover the cloaca? Discuss.
Okay, I have some thoughts, okay?
Oh,
Although
man.
Liu and Prince Jing are very passionate towards one another, their relationship as a whole is very cute, and their desire for one another isn't played up to be super graphic or anything like that, which makes the more unusual aspects of their fish-to-lover dynamic surprisingly easy to follow, right? So imagine my surprise when Liu unexpectedly discovers how sensitive his mermaid tail is and lets out a moan.
Oh.
While Prince Jing is still setting aside his own desire to focus on taking care of his husband's tribulation, Liu sees this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have mermaid sex.
Oh.
So he goes for it.
Oh.
I have given myself so many jump scares thinking, oh, they're gonna make this weirdly sexual, only to be wrong during the course of this book, that I actually did not expect mermaid sex to occur whatsoever. But then they had the audacity to skip all of the details. Admittedly, I can get a little confused during sex scenes because there was one sentence that I overlooked reading the first time, and then on the reread I was like, oh, so let me just go over that scene so we can discuss, okay? Because I was like, I'm like, how are they just fooling around? I'm like, okay, they're just, you know, being a little flirty, they're doing some sort of thing, but they're not like fully going all the way in mermaid form, right? Like, how would they even know how to do that, right? I was just thinking like
Prince Jing knows.
Well, there's one sentence that led me to believe that they could add... Anyways.
Okay.
I'll read the paragraph, and it's the final sentence, okay?
Okay.
A fish's structure was different from a human's, but Liu hadn't looked into it much beyond the obvious. Fortunately, Prince Jing was on board to help research the matter, and a whole new world awaited them. Liu's tail was so excited that it started slapping the water loudly. They finally found the right location and did everything they wanted.
Yeah. That means it has been entered.
Okay.
They found the right location.
Right, okay. See, that went completely over my head the first time, but then on the second time I was like, okay. A little damning.
You're like, I thought they meant like a waterbed.
Right?
The location.
The location. They find, like, I was like, okay.
Location, more like clocation.
I feel like the first time I was just like, well, maybe they needed to get out of the pond or on the
lover.
Anyways, it becomes even more clear later on, but but I think you're right. I do think you're right.
Bandits
Attack the town. Using this opportunity while Prince Jing is on his honeymoon, and much of the town's guards are accordingly on vacation. But Prince Jing even planned for this ambush, and his men are secretly prepared to attack the bandits who have been lured in. So they stay safe inside the residence, listening to the battle as it occurs outside. But upon hearing the sound of children crying, Liu gets too worried. Prince Jing goes to investigate the cause for his sake, but he doesn't return, and the crying continues. Liu then turns back into a manmer and rashly decides to risk being discovered to make sure his babies are safe. He wraps his top half in a cloth bound tightly to him with leather straps, fills his inventory with water, and goes out to investigate. That's right. This is a fish with legs going out to investigate.
Oh.
I cannot for the life of me wrap my mind around how this looks remotely casual. But okay. For some reason, the bandits seem to be seeking out Liu specifically. They swaddled some of the village's babies to look like Liu's children in an attempt to lure him out. Liu falls for the trap and is captured, but his cloaked identity is not revealed somehow. He discovers that while he's not yet able to transform into a human on the final day of his quest, he can shift between merman, manmer, and even a complete fish at will. He uses that to escape and hide in a river, discovering that a new and mysterious tactician is behind the bandits' trap. Prince Jing arrives to save Liu, covered in blood and with a murderous aura, slaughtering all the bandits before facing off against the tactician, who Prince Jing determines is the same man who made a previous assassination attempt against him in the palace, and even tried to poison Liu's fish food, and is working for the sixth prince. At first, he's unable to gain the upper hand, especially after the tactician uses pocket sand. But then, in one swift movement, he dodges an attack and swings around to stab the tactician in the back with a dagger.
Nice.
Liu rushes out in manmer form to save his husband, but is a little bit late at that point. And then when he sees Prince Jing, he has a moment of fear, not because of the bloodshed, but because he knows he crossed a line this time by sneaking out and putting himself in danger. And what if his husband is mad at him? He transforms into a merman to apologize, but Prince Jing, ragged with worry, only hugs him. The two of them do that thing that couples do, where they both excessively take the blame themselves and apologize to each other when no one is really at fault.
Aww.
And so they make up very easily. It's a classic case of just, they're both so worried about each other, but it all turned out okay.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. After that incident, Prince Jing makes a mental note to, take the sixth prince down a notch, and so he causes him to get exposed for taking bribes and embezzling money from his government position in the Ministry of Works, which he used to give lavish gifts to his new wife. So he just kind of writes a few letters and kind of screws over the sixth prince from afar after that fiasco.
Okay.
But yeah, what an event, right? And again, this was during the whole tribulation period, where the whole point was that Prince Jing had to protect Liu and help him not get caught or seen by anyone else in this form. So he managed to do that during this fiasco. We're gonna find out.
I can't wait to be human again. Terms and conditions from the Moe pet system may apply.
So, did Liu succeed on his quest? Although Prince Jing did successfully protect Liu during the 3 days, it required several bandits having to be killed after they saw Liu's merman form. So the system considers it only a partial success, and his reward is calculated accordingly. He can now transform into a merman or a manmer once a day and cancel at will. His new transformation time is also 24 hours for being human or anything else, I guess. So essentially, doing the math, that's almost the same as being human every single day, unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstance.
Nice.
He's also awarded the system's equivalent of a baby monitor, able to visibly check on each of his babies up to 3 times a day.
Fantastic.
He's so close to finishing the last main quest line, but the system has one more batch of quests for him to complete before he's finally done, plus or minus whatever side quests he wants to do.
Right.
Also, Liu is finally on a first-name basis with the Tyrant. It was a very special, intimate moment when Prince Jing conveyed that he wanted Liu to stop saying Your Highness and instead call him Tianxi.
Oh,
So cute.
that's very sweet. Meanwhile, Chu Yanyu is taking another L for the sixth prince. The male consort gave birth, Your Majesty. Will you promote him now? I have your baby. And a royal D, unfortunately.
Now, Chu Yanyu is not going to experience pregnancy. However, the next best thing for him. Back when Prince Jing moved to the border, Prince Jing let go a lot of his household staff to go wherever they pleased. Chu Yanyu was among them, so he returned to the sixth prince. But even though he and the sixth prince have a situationship going on, the sixth prince is busy scheming, and he has a wife now, and Chu Yanyu is still sidelined with him. So, Chu Yanyu volunteers to go somewhere where he can serve as the eyes and ears of the sixth prince to the greatest effect. The Emperor's bedchambers.
Oh my god.
Yes, the Emperor that is Prince Jing's dad. Yes, he becomes part of the Emperor's wide harem as another concubine.
What the hell?
Through a ruse involving the Emperor getting drunk at another concubine's house and him being very beautiful and very conveniently located.
Okay.
At the very least, the Emperor considers the situation very embarrassing and is taking responsibility the best he can, but he definitely sees it as a moment lacking judgment. So basically, he went to go see another concubine, a woman. She has this beautiful manservant who, did what he could to get the Emperor drunk and then sleep together so that he would have to take responsibility, make him a concubine, kind of like, sorry, bro, sorry that happened, even though it's definitely your intention. Yes, that's super mega awkward and weird, but, it's weird that it's Prince Jing's dad, but yeah, That's what Chu Yanyu's up to.
Okay.
And he's definitely like, oh, mega cringe moment. But hey, at least he's not homophobic.
Oh my god.
Anyways, and you know what? It doesn't matter because he's a good grandpa. So, with the border stabilized and Grandpa wanting to see his grandkids, the time comes for Prince Jing and his family to return to the capital and meet the Emperor. This is the first time the Emperor is introduced to Liu and the kids, and he's delighted with all of them, especially the babies. Liu has once more picked up his investigation of Prince Jing's old wet nurse, discovering that she was named Pu Liu and has been cast out of the palace because she made a grave mistake. Her lack of care in shutting a window caused the infant Prince Jing to catch a serious cold back in the day. However, from what Liu saw through the system, Pu Liu loved Prince Jing like a son and would have never been so careless. So, the plot thickens.
Okay. Prince Jing's unspeakable affliction. Viagra? Stop. No.
The Mermaid King continues in full force, adding to the cloaca theory. Like, that was not the first and last time. The first time was not the last time that they had mermaid sex, which makes me believe that they aren't just using their hands, right? There's something.
Shut up!
There's something more going on there. Okay, so that about settled it for me. But the thing is, while they were in the capital visiting everybody, they see Ya Qinghuan's baby girl, because he got married, that nice princess. They had a baby. And seeing that baby girl just ignites Liu's baby's fever. He wants a little girl too. He's got to have the complete set. He's like, I know we have 4 baby boys, but she's so cute. Look at her. We just look at her. So, in a drunken, enthusiastic fit, he jumps his husband and really goes for it with innumerable rounds of baby making. He is like determined to get pregnant again already.
Oh my god.
However, just as a side note, aside from the one shot and done thing, which artificially enhanced his fertility, he now can still technically get pregnant, but at a normal rate of fertility. So it's not guaranteed that he can get pregnant just from doing it.
Okay.
Like, it kind of works in a more normal way now. So they do that. Innumerable rounds of baby making later. Liu wakes up in the night. His husband is not with him in bed, and so he gets up out of bed and he accidentally discovers that Prince Jing has been taking medicine. And the servant giving him the medicine is warning Prince Jing that it could have harmful side effects. He assumes that it's Viagra and has a whole crisis over his husband's dignity versus his long-term health, and ultimately confronts Prince Jing about it.
Oh my god.
Hoping to convince him, like, you don't need to do this. It's more important to me that, that you are well. Don't be taking...
I care about you more than your boner.
Yes, literally.
Oh my god.
Yes. But the truth is rather to the opposite effect. Ever since he discovered that Liu could get pregnant, of course that took him by surprise the first time when it was too late, Prince Jing has been taking contraceptives.
Male birth control pill.
Yes, he has been taking male birth control.
What?
He does not want Liu to get pregnant again. And his reasoning behind that is quite heartbreaking. It's because he was born mute, and while none of their current children inherited that trait, he does not want to risk a future son or daughter suffering in the same way he has.
Oh!
This is the first real insight we have on how Prince Jing experiences this disability. While outwardly he seems unfettered by it, deep down it has always been something painful to him, and this is his first time allowing his husband to see that vulnerability. This is the first time he expresses that it is painful to him.
Oh my god. That's so sad.
It's the first time the reader experiences that as well. We have no insight into his mind.
Suffering.
Yeah, and any of that, it's so easy to just assume that because he's so successful that it doesn't, and because he's happy in love, that it doesn't really bother him anymore or never really did. But you really see that that's something he worries about.
Oh my god.
So that was a really touching moment. It was really heartbreaking, and Liu does see his side of that and respects that, and so they do work that out. So yeah,
imagine how nervous he was with the other 4 babies the whole time, but he didn't show that.
Exactly. Aww. He was really worried that one or all of them would turn out like him, and so
Fish 4 gave him a little bit of a worry, but he turned out okay.
He's like, never mind that they're fish, will they be able to speak? So he was really relieved when they all were able to, I guess, talk normally, or cry, or make sounds, or, yeah.
This would be a lot easier if we had 23andMe. Give me that baby's blood. Not on my fucking watch.
This is my favorite part of the whole book next to the Duck Army. We're going into a hijink. We're going into a real scheme here, okay?
Okay.
And you're not gonna believe where this takes us. The sixth prince is convinced that Prince Jing's children are fakes.
Okay.
Honestly reasonable.
Yeah.
He thinks they're not related to him by blood whatsoever. Makes sense. And if he can prove it, he'll be able to destroy Prince Jing's reputation and his path to the throne. So one of his associates gets in touch with the family's wet nurse, whose family has fallen on hard times and is struggling with debt. And the man tells her that he'll fix her debt problem if she lets him take a drop of blood from one of the babies. Now, understandably, that's mega creepy, but as we've previously talked about, a physician can determine parentage through blood in this universe, so clearly the sixth prince is planning to expose Prince Jing if the baby is not related to him by blood. However, the wet nurse goes to Prince Jing instead and tells him what happened. So he sets a trap for the man by having the wet nurse pretend to agree. So she goes back to him and says, okay, sounds good.
Right.
The man comes in and he takes a drop of blood from the sleeping baby, all while Prince Jing and Liu watch from behind a screen. Although I know there's no way they would allow their children to be normally harmed, I'm still in like huge suspense, wondering how this could happen at this point. I'm like, who's the baby? Did they substitute another baby? How could they let another baby, risk being harmed in this situation? That'd be so irresponsible. Well, no, they didn't. The baby was actually a special member of Prince Jing's personal guards, a man with dwarfism who is rather conveniently a master of disguise. Maybe a little bit of a stretch that his makeup skills could hide the fact that he was a grown man rather than a toddler, but stranger things have already happened in this danmei.
Stop. That's awful.
No, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, you're telling me you just dropped the coolest fucking lord up character? I'm like, give me his story.
Well, yeah, this guy,
so
the master
cool.
of disguise.
You just tell me this fucking guy is in his freaking Prince Jing's special force, and he's like, yeah, I'll take one for the team. And like, he
Guess
has
I'm going full baby tonight.
yes. And he has like a full like conversation with Liu afterwards, where Liu is like, holy cow, that's so cool, you could like transform that much, that's amazing. And then Prince Jing gets jealous and like gives him a look, and he's just like, okay, stops talking to Liu. Look, this guy's gonna steal my man.
Oh my god.
Now listen, overall, like across the board, the side characters in this novel are not the most developed, so I don't know if he'll even get a name or if we'll even see him again, but I really hope we do, because he sounds cool as shit. Okay, he's my favorite character in this goddamn book.
Damn.
So yes, no babies were harmed in this scheme, and that guy was fully prepared to like snap a neck if he had to. Like, imagine if that went in another direction.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So the sixth prince thinks he has proof that the baby is not related by blood, but all we've learned is that the super cool man with dwarfism that Prince Jing has on his guard is not related to Prince Jing by blood.
Oh. Little cowboy action?
He's on a horse. That was to convey he's on a horse. Anyways, okay. The next big event that occurs is the annual hunting festival, in which the princes and other nobles compete to catch the most prey and earn the emperor's favor accordingly. After which there's a banquet and camping in tents and so on. Prince Jing never attended in the past, but everything has changed now that he's taking his position as a prince more seriously. The sixth prince started as soon as possible to get ahead of the game and make a name for himself, whereas Prince Jing shows up at a more reasonable time to come with his family. Despite this obvious disadvantage, he quickly catches up to the sixth prince's achievements, but hunting all day is grueling work, and slowly he loses steam until the moment he sees Liu watching him. He sweeps up his husband on horseback, and they share a kiss so loving and passionate that he's fully charged again and manages to surpass the sixth prince altogether. The power of one kiss, giving him the energy of 1,000 suns, or perhaps a Monster energy drink. That's how you know the love is real.
A gift for Grandpa. Aw. Censored. What?
At the banquet, the emperor continues to show immense favor to Liu and his children. There's an unfortunately disgusting scene here that's supposed to be at least partially endearing, but Liu feeds one of his babies, as parents are wont to do, by chewing up a piece of food until it's soft enough to just pass into their mouth, right? But that's fine. But the baby misunderstands the assignment and tries to share with his brother, who shares with his brother.
Aww.
Who shares with his brother. who shares with his brother, and then shares with Grandpa.
Oh, God.
So there's the Emperor holding a piece of drool-covered, chewed-up meat that passed through 5 different mouths. Oh, aren't children great?
That's gross.
That's disgusting.
Did he eat it?
No. But you know what? The Emperor is having sentimental grandpa hours, and so he's just like, it's so beautiful that children share, and they think of me, and I love them. They don't think of me as the Emperor, they think of me as their grandpa, and I love them so much. So, good for him that he wasn't like, execute those babies immediately, because that would have been me. I'd be like, that's disgusting. Assassins! Assassins!
Oh,
yes, dear. Just when you thought you were safe. Everyone goes to sleep in their tents that night, but Yu and Prince Jing stay in their day clothes, anticipating that the 6th prince will make his move during the night. And then, in the darkness, they hear a commotion, someone crying out that there's an assassin! Thus, the volume ends, and the next volume is the final volume.
Oh my gosh.
I know! What a cliffhanger!
What?
I really enjoyed this volume. And I'm especially happy that the romantic relationship is only enhanced by the new addition to their families, rather than the babies taking over the narrative.
Yeah.
Yu and Prince Jing's relationship is stronger and more affectionate than ever now that they're married, and it's wild just how far they've come in this volume alone. So I can't wait to see how the system quests are finally resolved and where our couple ends up.
Me too! Oh my god! This is a very sweet book.
It is.
But damn.
There's some weird things, for sure. But as you're reading it, it doesn't seem weird at all.
Yeah.
It just seems so sweet.
It's quite beautiful.
I think unconditional love is beautiful. And
Yes.
what's more unconditional than being a fucking fish?
Or half a fish.
That's a condition.
The wrong way.
That's a condition for most people.
I would love you if you were a man, Mer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd play in the pond with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw. Even if my dick was hanging out?
Especially if your dick was hanging out.
Aw.
Well, thank you so much for another incredible book review. If you guys would like to purchase this book or order the next final volume, I'll have the links down below. Are they doing a special edition?
You know what?
I think they are.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. They're not doing that for every series.
Yeah, we'll have that link down below. And if you guys would like to hang out with Stitch and I every single Friday at 7 p.m. PST, we do a members-only live stream. If you join my membership, it's a great way to help support our channel because this is what we do full-time thanks to our members. It's a great place to hang out and talk about Danmei, and we play games, and it's so much fun. So be sure to click join down below to learn more about that. We will see you next fish time. Bye! Bye!